The following is a presentation of the Nerd Complex Podcast Network.
You are listening to Audio Suplex Live.
Hello, hello.
Happy Royal Rumble Day, everybody.
And happy Rusev Day.
Hey Joe, I hate to keep you on your toes this early. Do you have the celebration drop?
Oh, God.
Oh,
It's Royal Rumble Day, guys. This is the best day of the WWE year.
This may be the best day of the WWE year.
It is.
Not every year.
I'm glad they gave it a bigger stage, bigger stadium.
It's this to me is like the one thing that kind of helps me get through my seasonal depression in the winter is knowing that every January I will be able to sit down and see 30 and now 60 of the greatest superstars on the planet compete for the opportunity to point at a WrestleMania sign.
if they don't mess it up like Ronda Rousey did, where she was
so
pointing
awkward.
for like
Oh my God.
So awkward.
20 minutes of.
I watched a video on Reddit the other day of like the finishing pose to every WrestleMania or to every Rumble winner. And you can definitely see like a distinct mark in time, like mid 2000s, where they started introducing the WrestleMania sign, where it was like every year from that point on, the finish was points to the WrestleMania sign, with the exception of one. And it was when Triple H won the title in 2016 or whatever, 2015. Yeah. 2016.
That makes sense.
So every year from like, I want to say it was like 2006 on was just points to sign.
I think I have a photo of me pointing to the sign.
You've seen them.
Honestly, that's wrestling bucket list. Put it on there.
Yeah,
a picture of myself pointing at the WrestleMania
Have you seen
sign.
the picture of Zack Ryder on main event pointing at the Raw sign? He won his match on main event. He's pointing at the Raw. Like he's going to make it to Raw.
I'm going to make it to Raw, brother.
It's sad. A former IC champion.
Former longest reigning internet champion of all time.
Yeah. I see that.
No.
I love to listen to radio.
Jesus.
All right, guys. So Royal Rumble Day. You guys excited?
Yes.
Now we got the
very
giggles
excited.
out. Everybody got the...
What are you guys doing for the Rumble?
We are going to the Beers Tube at... What's the address again, Corey?
5333.
Oh, you know it.
53.
Monroe Street.
5333 Monroe Street
I just know how to
tonight.
get there.
That's in the Hobby Lobby Plaza.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right down the street from the Franklin Park Mall.
Yes, sir. Yes,
And the
sir.
same thing with the new Taco Bell in it.
Yes, sir.
That
Across the
closes too early.
street-ish.
The Taco Bell that looks like a monolith just kind of coming out of the ground. It's just like a big rectangle.
Don't eat at that Taco Bell.
It's all looks. That's all it is. It's
That's
just,
the worst
it looks
Taco
good,
Bell.
but it's the worst.
Aesthetic.
And they close early. They close like an hour before the bar closes.
I never. So here's the deal about the Beer Tube. I love the Beer Tube, one of the greatest drinking establishments in the greater Toledo area, if not the greatest. But I will say this:
Uh-oh.
the businesses that are around it are run by a bunch of jalops, a bunch of slack-jawed. Okay, listen, you have a diner that's right next to one of the most popular bars in the city. Closes before the bar does.
Well,
You have a Taco Bell right there, closes before the bar does. What do people want when they leave the bar?
That diner closes at like 2 o'clock.
Yeah,
They're
it's
just
a breakfast. It's a breakfast.
Yeah,
diner.
I don't care though. Like that is a
That's what Steak and Shake is for, right next door.
Toledo deserves a better class of post-bar food.
Well, the
and
Beer
it needs to be
Stew-
within
Well, the Beer
walking
Stew
distance.
Kitchens is
Is
all the
open
way
till
up
close.
It's
You
open
got,
till
you got
close,
many
so you can
WWE
still-
wrestler favorite, the Waffle House.
Yes,
that is
that's
always
true.
open.
And listen, I will put over the Beer Stews wings all day.
50-cent wings,
jumbo
every
wings,
Sunday.
jumbo wings with pineapple jalapeno.
Oh, that's such a good sauce.
My God,
I made
That's
that
too much
sauce.
sauce.
That's my sauce.
that's Corey sauce.
That's one of my sauces.
That's beautiful. I love it.
I really like the garlic parmesan. That's not my sauce. I didn't make that one.
Who made it?
A guy named Nick that works there.
I don't think he invented the garlic parmesan.
No. But it's his recipe. We make all of our sauces from scratch.
I just
so
want
it's
you to know,
his recipe.
I added the buffalo sauce to it to make it the spicy buffalo garlic.
Like, wow.
Yeah.
That's
You
not
added
true.
buffalo, so you didn't do anything at all.
He did.
Yeah, he
Buffalo
I
was
made
just
the
running
mix.
mill.
He ordered 2 sauces.
My man came over and accidentally knocked over a bottle of Frank's Red Hot and called it a day. This is his contribution.
Give me my credit.
But
All
at least
right,
we have
so,
you here.
real quick, again, Beer Stew tonight, starting at 5 o'clock is the pre-show. I'm not going to get there till 5 to set up. So The pre-show won't be running until about 5:15. But the pre-show will be on around 5, so we can watch the U.S. title match and what's the other match on the pre-show?
The Cruiserweight title.
Cruiserweight title match.
Buddy Murphy.
It'll be up before those
Buddy
matches
Murphy.
go. The main show starts at 7 o'clock. This is an all-ages event, so
Yes, bring your kids.
If you have, don't bring your small children, but
Bring your mature
age-appropriate children, teenagers. If you're 20 and you've never been to the beer stoop and you've always wanted to see what it looks like inside,
You can
tonight you can see
Eli Shelton.
Yeah, you can come and check it out. One night only.
You can get a good hard look at what the next couple years of your life are going to be like on Saturdays.
Yeah. And the all ages is until whenever it's over, so like 11,
Yeah.
11:30.
Yep.
We're
gonna have
then your kids got to go.
We're gonna have a Rumble raffle for each of the Royal Rumbles. So, what did we decide was the entry? Was it?
I'm thinking, I don't know. We'll see how turnout is. I think.
Yeah. We'll
Between $2 and $5, you can buy a number in the Rumble.
random number. So we're gonna be picking from 30 random numbers between $2 and $5. We'll let you guys know at the show. Buy yourself a random number. If that Rumble winner
Entrant
wins the Rumble, then you win the
You
pot.
win all of the money.
The
We're
whole
not keeping
pot.
any of it. You get all of the money. There's no 50-50.
One for the women's, one for the men's.
Yep. We'll see. Again, we'll see how the turnout. We'll see how many people are interested. If there's a big interest, maybe we can do more than one for each. We can do a $5 one and a $2 one.
Yeah,
If we have
yeah.
enough people that want to do it, we can do a $1 one. If we find enough people don't want
We
to
can
spend
do
a ton of money.
anything we want. It's Royal Rumble Day, guys.
This is where stories are created.
On Rusev Day,
correct.
no less.
Yep.
Praise.
Let's get into it. We got a lot to talk about. This is a very full card. We got a lot of speculation. This is probably the most speculated as far as wrestling pay-per-views go. A lot of surprises are potential to happen here tonight. So
We're on the road.
It's the most.
let's start with the pre-show,
wonderful time.
the most wonderful time of the show. We got the Buddy Murphy, Akira Tozawa,
Buddy
Hideo
Murphy.
Itami, and Kalisto of Lucha House Party. Fatal 4-way for the Cruiserweight Championship. Is there any chance that anyone takes this belt off of Buddy Murphy?
No.
No.
Not right now.
Too
I
dominant.
don't think so.
He's
think
on a
so.
tear. The brand is on its way up.
I think this might be his last pay-per-view as champion, potentially.
Yes.
Give him a couple opponents here, and then potentially even move him up to the main roster.
We're
I
gonna
don't know.
build into his post Rumble pre-Mania program here soon. He's gonna drop the strap, and I think it's gonna be at Mania.
Mania makes sense.
And I think it's gonna put over
on the pre-show.
a good on the pre-show, but but that's not a bad place though, because like you're still getting the brand representation in, and if it's already established that the Cruiserweight stuff is going to be on the pre-show, then at least you know. And if you're into that brand, you watch the pre-show, and if you're not, you don't.
Now, I have a good question, though, because I'm a bit out of the loop on the 205 front. I know Mustafa's on SmackDown, so has he not been on
He's done with 205. He is a
dang.
SmackDown
I would love
superstar.
to see him still get the title, and then you bring relevance to that title by
showing
still
up on
having
SmackDown.
And then
it.
defending it on SmackDown.
But they did that on Raw, and it didn't work. And they had that extra hour on Raw to try to feature the Cruiserweights.
I
and
guess
it
just
people
keeping him
didn't care.
busy, though. Like still on and off. But I mean, he's doing great things on SmackDown. I just wasn't sure what
Well,
his
then he has to
setup
wrestle
was.
twice in one night because they filmed 205 Live right after SmackDown.
The cool thing about WWE and how many different brands they have now is that they can really just do whatever they want with all their different flavors.
Yeah.
They can just like, okay, cool.
It's
You like
Ben,
the
it's Ben
Cruiserweight
and
stuff?
Jerry's a pro wrestling right now.
Yeah, it's cool because you can like,
It doesn't have to make sense. It tastes good, though.
you like indie guys? We got a lot of money. We bought them all. They're all over in NXT. You like flippy guys? Cool. We bought all those guys too. They're on 205 Live
Then you got
Tuesday
your
nights.
you got your UK roster.
Oh, you like British guys? We got them too. We bought those.
We heard you guys are starting to like German guys. We got Walter. He's the biggest one we could find.
We went out and got the biggest German we could find for you. You can fit so many wrestlers in this.
Oh, man.
Oh man, yeah, but it's cool because you can get so many different flavors in there. But that being said, the brand is up. Buddy Murphy hangs onto the title.
That could also be a bad thing though, because if you got so many people, you got so many rosters, you can't figure out what you're going to do with all them guys. Guys are going to start to get unhappy.
It's a bit of a transition. Create a new brand.
Hey, you know what's funny?
Guy gets upset. Make a new brand for him. Give another title to that brand, and there you go. He's happy.
And to that, you guys noticed that how the Revival requested release and then got like a title opportunity the next week.
Yeah.
Well, did you see that they're doing a program with all the guys that want to leave?
Yeah,
They got the Revival, and they got Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder. You guys are going to be in a tag team storyline.
Well, I
because
heard-
none of you want to be here.
I heard they're going to try to make the tag team division
More relevant.
Yeah,
because
okay,
of what
well, here we go.
AEW
Now-
was going to do, where they're talking about they're going to focus on the tag team division.
Now we're gonna have an entire tag team
And now,
brand.
yeah, now we're yeah.
It's gonna be tag team
Tuesday Night
live.
Tag.
You got the,
NXT.
Yeah, NXT. Yeah, and it's gonna be it's the women's tag belts are gonna be there. You're gonna have hey, you guys want to be a tag team? Move over to this brand.
Yeah.
You guys want a team?
Teddy Long, general manager.
Teddy Long will be yes.
Undertaker is like the commissioner.
Yes.
Or the GM. We
Now
got a GM and a
hold on
commissioner.
minute, player.
Hold on, man, the player.
You thought we was going to have a singles match? This is a tag team
Match, player.
With the Undertaker.
Now hear my music.
You looking at the Mac Militant? All right.
Okay. Let's move on to another pre-show match.
Can we get a white boy challenge, John?
We got United States Champion Rusev Day taking on former United States Champion Shinsuke Nakamura.
Nakamura's toast.
Do you guys remember when Nakamura debuted on NXT against Sami Zayn, and it was like the coolest feeling in the entire world, and that match
Yep.
like literally
And that-
set the world on fire?
It was good.
Well, he got a "This Is Awesome" on his entrance alone.
He peaked.
Yep.
He peaked right there. And it kills me to say that because I love the idea of Nakamura, but it's just not.
What he was before, during, in that build, and then once he became NXT champion, it wasn't the same.
Really wasn't. Like, he just kind of superseded his welcome there. He didn't really.
Nothing on the main roster has been
can't.
worthwhile.
I can't tell you the last time I was excited for a Nakamura match.
Right.
Like
He won the Rumble last
came
year,
up
and
and
it was somewhat exciting because it was somewhat different.
we talked about this
And
before,
it was
the show,
out of
but
But
last
they
year's
muffed it.
Didn't
They
ex-
messed it all
last
up.
year's
It was
Rumble was
not
just
good.
kind of it was a little
And
disappointing.
it felt really.
It was Roman versus Nakamura, so everyone was just happy it wasn't Roman. It was like,
Right.
New guy. Maybe they'll finally do something with
it just
Nakamura.
It wasn't the right fit.
It didn't go over as much as they
So,
wanted to. So I think
That said, Rusev.
I say Rusev.
Rusev
Rusev's so
Day
over right now.
reigns supreme.
It's true. It's true. And honestly, I still struggle to find a bad thing to say about Rusev.
He puts in his work.
He's a great dude. He's the gift that keeps on giving. He can be my United States champion from here until the end of my days.
Then now forever.
That Total Divas dude's hilarious though. I'm always cracking up at him.
He is hilarious.
I don't think I've ever watched him on
What,
Total
dude?
Divas.
He's hilarious.
Rusev is? I'll have to check it out.
Running himself a
Did you
Lamborghini.
see the video he posted? They're watching Total Divas or something or whatever, and Rusev's there with Sheamus, and he's on like Instagram Live or something. He's like, "Hey, we're about to watch some more Total Divas." And Sheamus is like, I'm not gonna watch that shite anymore. And he doesn't realize that he's on. All right, I guess it's not that funny.
No, I chuckled, but I'm also.
It's pretty funny.
No, he is.
He's like, I'm not gonna watch that dumb shite.
He's so full of himself, so he'll stand in front of the mirror and just flex all day.
Yeah.
That's why I love
But
him.
dude, honestly, we talked about this a long time ago.
Long time ago.
If we could get that Rusev build,
That was before I started to learn about aesthetics and stuff. But yeah, like I was bigger at the time.
Dude,
I was like, I'm gonna like turn into like a barrel-chested, big-ass brute dude. And
Dude,
then I sweated it all off.
listen. We've
Too much
been
cardio.
We've been in Team Rusev since way back in the day. I remember standing with my hand over my chest for the
Came out
recipient
on
of
a
the
tank.
Gold Star Medal and the hero of the Russian Federation. This is
He came in on a no-limit tank.
make him say, "Oh."
All right.
Sorry, that reference flew right over your head, didn't it? Hip-hop heads.
All right.
How much coffee did you guys have?
None. I had an entire Coke though.
You got
I
a
got-
Coke and a beer over here.
Yeah.
I'm the one running
Well-
on Surge Energy
Yeah,
today.
I got Blushing Monk by Founder.
The thing is,
I'm drinking malt liquor.
Liquor.
and you didn't get the hip hop reference.
All right.
Joe got the malt.
And Dusty over here with his McDonald's water.
Boy.
Hey.
Look,
I was on a time frame and I was like, "Who sells water?" McDonald's the only one.
who sells water? That's
sells
a sad
water?
question. That's
No,
a
I mean,
great
like, to
first
get-
world
to get
question. Who sells water?
Welcome to Earth. Who sells water?
Welcome to America.
You could go to any store and
This is
they would
America.
sell water. Any store. Name
I
a
was
store.
on the fly.
They sell
Corey-
water there.
Corey told me he's like, "Be here by 12:20," and I looked at the clock. I was playing WWE 2K19, and I looked at the clock and I was like, "Oh man, I got 15 minutes to get there."
Who sells
So
water?
I couldn't stop anywhere.
This is the best
I had to
time
fly.
Dusty's ever made to anything.
Yeah.
All right, let's move to the main show here because we're really spending a lot of time not talking about the card. I'm just kidding. It's fine. The Women's Rumble is up next. That'll be the opening contest that we're
think?
going to talk about. At
Do you
least.
wanna run
for
down
the
a
storyline
confirmed-
that I'm going with? It has to be first.
Okay.
You want to run down of the confirmed entrance?
If you want to list off 23 women's names right now, you're more than welcome to.
Hold on. Wait. Can Dusty name all 23 entrants?
He's looking at the list.
I got my notes.
Hold on. I'm going to time him.
I'm a professional.
You have to do it
in 23 seconds.
In 50 seconds.
In
less than a minute.
45 seconds.
Yeah, there you
starting now.
Natalia, Bailey, Ember Moon, Lacey Evans, Alexa Bliss, Ruby Riott, Sarah Logan, Liv Morgan, Mickey James, Alicia Fox, Mandy Rose, Sonya Deville, Zelina Vega, Charlotte Flair, Naomi, Tamina, Peyton Royce, Billie Kay, Dana Brooke, Lana, Nia Jax, Nikki Cross, and Carmella at number 30.
That is easy.
With 27 seconds to spare.
No problem.
Professional.
Oh, man. Shouts out to the Toledo public school system.
He did it.
I went to Washington Local.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay, so you
That's
you
a
lived
Toledo
block
public
over.
school. It is a public school in Toledo.
So now that we just had Dusty speed run 27 names that I did not retain a single one of.
23 names.
23. See, exactly. I didn't even know how many he listed. What do you guys think of the women's rumble? Who do you guys think is the betting man's favorite?
I think there's no doubt that Charlotte is the favorite to win this rumble.
Charlotte,
no doubt.
Or
gross.
Becky would be another favorite to win.
Let's do this for each of the rumbles. Let's come up with a consensus favorite and then pick who we would want to win and how.
Okay.
You throw them over the top rope. That's how.
How? Really?
I'd like an elimination win, but
Jesus Christ.
I'll go first. I don't care how it happens. I just know that Charlotte is winning the women's rumble.
Now, is that because
That's
she
the favorite,
wasn't in
and I
it
think
last year and
it's her
she's
first
in it
rumble?
now,
They did plug that it's her first rumble. She's one of the only women in the match that hadn't competed last year.
Because she was champion at the time, right?
And I think she wins and challenges Ronda Rousey. So at the end of the match, she says, "Hey, I'm coming for Ronda Rousey."
Story-wise, just finished what was wrapped up at that Survivor Series?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Dusty?
I'm with Corey. I think Charlotte is going to win. But if I were to pick somebody to win, I would pick probably Alexa Bliss, just because I'm a Bliss fan. So, no secret.
Right.
And she's been out for a while doing that whole, that other role that she was in.
Women's
kind of like
GM.
that
women's
GM,
type thing, and
the Baroness
now that
Corbin.
she's getting back in, now that she's getting back into things, I'd want her to win the Rumble and get back to where she was. She was on top in that women's division,
was out,
and
though with that concussions or something. She just had to wait to get cleared.
Yep.
Okay,
and so she's cleared now. I think she still has it. Yeah.
I think she's lost kind of some of her fizzle.
I don't think so.
Right. And, not her.
But it's because she's been out for a while.
I know. But she's been on TV, and it's still. I'm not as excited.
But she's not in a competitive role.
Need I remind you that this is WWE, and there is also a very good chance that Nia Jax is going to win the Women's Rumble as well.
She's blonde, but was stale. She had a look and appeal. She gets over. She's great on a mic and stuff, but she was getting old.
Oh,
so I mean, the injury happened at the right time,
right?
Straight up.
Well, maybe she needed to cool off a little bit and kind of like have time for the fans to kind of reassess their relationship with the character a little bit. Try some new stuff with her.
Yeah.
Who do you think's going to eliminate Nia Jax? That's a big girl
Becky.
to eliminate. I think it's going to be multiple people.
Probably multiple.
Yeah.
Tamina.
No.
The
Cousin.
Iconics 2 and 2 together.
No.
That'd be
I
kind of cool.
don't
Double
know.
team.
I think multiple women.
Yeah.
That's just how you have to do those.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Ajax.
I would want Ember.
good choice.
Just I'm always that one that's out in left field.
Yeah, of course.
But I think Ember really deserves that good push. And if I'm going with the logic that I have for how the men's rumble would be, where anybody can win it, it would be Ember. Especially if Asuka could win it last year. Or not, was it?
Yeah, it was Asuka.
Yeah, it was Asuka last year, yeah. So if Asuka could win it last year, and then, go face Charlotte. Okay, so now I'm remembering it all. Ember could take it this year. But, yeah, I get it. I'm right there with you. It's going to be a continuation of the story that we never got. It's going to push that whole four horsewoman thing. So Charlotte winning it seems tangible. Ideally for me, Ember.
I'm all in on Charlotte. I think it's going to be the move. It makes the most sense from the storyline as far as like the whole setting up for the horsewomen thing. I do think that Corey had a really interesting theory that's going to come up a little bit later. I think that we were talking about before the show started. If I had to pick though, out of my own heart, Yeah, I'd probably still go with Charlotte. It just makes the most sense. It honestly does. Like, it just
She's good.
She's good.
She deserves a spot.
She really does. I mean, maybe Bailey.
Ember Moon would be my if I would do a dark horse, if I got to pick and it wasn't going to be Charlotte, I'd say Ember Moon would probably be my pick.
Yeah. I mean, the women's roster is interesting because there's really not a huge.
There's not a talent gap. There
isn't really a huge talent gap.
Yeah,
exactly.
They're all right there.
There is no
they just don't have
Kurt Hawkins of the women's division.
No.
So,
Alexa or Alicia Fox.
But even still, like
she's still talented and can do
and
it.
And with the right program, she could be a feasible threat in the tag division when they introduce those titles officially.
Yeah, and see, I think our perspectives will change once that launches.
Yeah.
Okay. Real quick, there's 7 open slots in the Women's Rumble. Who do we think could possibly fill those 7 slots?
You're going to see this theme with me between both the men's and women's Rumbles. I think because WWE is such a talent-heavy place now, you're going to see a lot of people from NXT that more this year than you have in the previous years to kind of really fill out the Rumble.
So who would you bring up from NXT to be in the Rumble?
So NXT, you obviously have the UK and the inline brand for NXT. You've got a lot of huge names down there that are ready to kind of get their first exposure to the spotlight. I think Toni Storm, Rhea Ripley from the UK brand would be 2 really good choices from that brand. And then down in just normal NXT, Kairi Sane, obviously, who was in last year's Rumble. Io Shirai is down there now. Mia Yim had come up earlier when we were talking about it.
Bianca Belair.
Bianca Belair, Shayna Baszler, incumbent NXT champion. I think it would be good for her to get some face time.
That's 7 right there.
Yeah, so I think it's with the women's Rumble. I think it's going to be a lot less legend heavy.
No, we don't need that.
I think we're going to see Lita and Trish, and that's going to set up for the women's tag team championship elimination chamber match at next month's pay-per-view. Does that make sense?
No,
so
what connection would they have?
Yeah, I don't think Lita and I don't think you need
Lita and Trish were getting teased. They were going to be a tag team at Evolution against Alexa Bliss. And
I don't necessarily know if WWE doesn't.
They did a tag
Lita
match.
And Trish
I think that would be a good pairing, a good nostalgia pairing. They're going to have
kick off the brand. No,
they're going to have 6 female tag teams.
You
in
already have
chamber.
So you got the Riot Squad.
You have the Iconics. You have
Iconics, Riot Squad,
Bailey and Sasha,
Tamina and Nia.
4.
You have whoever they team Alicia Fox with at any given time. You could literally
would
throw
you rather
anybody.
Okay, but that's not a set up tag team.
Alicia Fox and
that's not a set up tag team.
Alicia
they need
Fox
to be a setup tag team.
But it's more tangible.
Lita and Trish aren't technically a setup
yes,
tag
they are.
No, that was a one shot.
Okay, but
they were on TV together for weeks and weeks and weeks.
And then by
up to
that logic, any 2
Evolution.
people who have ever tag teamed with each other once are a official tag team.
Yeah.
Okay, people that are watching the show, you think Trish and Lita are a tag team?
That's promo and marketing material for Evolution, the first women's pay-per-view.
I don't think.
Okay, we came up with 4 tag teams
out of the 6. So yeah, we did pretty damn good.
So where are the other 2?
You think they're gonna put Lana?
You think you would rather have Alicia Fox with some random partner over Lita and Trish?
Yeah, I would literally say I'm going to call it right now. It's going to be like Alicia Fox and
Sheamus. That's how it all started.
Alicia Fox and I'm calling it right now. It's going to be Mickie James. There you go. There's your tag team right there.
Why do we need legends?
We don't.
No,
and that's what I'm saying.
When you're talking about Trish and Lita,
they don't need to be around to kick off this tag team.
Yeah, why do we need them? We're in a whole new era, and
they weren't that. They were good anyway.
Yeah, I mean,
why would I want to launch with that? Yeah, they're legends, but why would I want to watch with stale granny thong, one-piece wearing ass Lita?
Last year, having Trish, Lita, Molly, Jacqueline. They didn't have enough women. Michelle McCool, all these other cool legends coming back. Vicky Guerrero.
Did you see Michelle McCool's Twitter?
That I would understand. Okay, that maybe one like that.
Like cool.
Yeah, maybe one like that or something like that because they're not too far removed from when their time frame was.
Okay,
that maybe, but Lita and Trish, I don't really.
I didn't say either of them are good wrestlers.
The roster's thick enough now.
I'm telling you, it's going to happen tonight.
We're good.
Okay, when it happens tonight, I'll be sitting next to you when it happens.
Okay.
All right. And you're going to say, I'm sorry, Corey.
Maybe.
And if it doesn't happen, I will say, next
Travis,
year.
I know you saw it.
All right.
Next year.
We still have to go back to Saudi Arabia.
Let's move on. Our first non-Rumble match of the evening that we have written down here, we have the Bar defending the SmackDown titles against the greatest tag team in the world, potentially.
It's not even going to last.
Shane McMahon and The Miz.
If I were naming the Shane McMahon and Miz, do they have a tag team name yet?
No.
No. Okay, I'm going to call them the
Sheamus.
the most awesomest wrestler in the world.
Sheamus.
The awesomest.
Sheamus against
best-
Sheamus and Cesaro.
Sheamus.
Sheamus versus Sheamus and Cesaro.
Do you guys remember when Big
I've
Show
not
was in
heard
the
that
bar?
joke anywhere yet.
Remember when Big Show was a member of the bar?
Yeah, for a
like
month?
5 minutes. that was cool.
Okay, so I honestly think that Shane and The Miz will win the titles until and then they'll lose them right before WrestleMania and have a match.
Can you imagine Vince coming up to Sheamus and Cesaro backstage after they had made this tag team that nobody thought would work right off the rip
Yeah.
and going like, "Hey guys, I think we're gonna put you with Show." Like, why? Why? Like,
well.
what does that add to this by adding Big Show?
Adding Big Show to anything except for Jericho, it makes no sense.
Yeah, adding Big Show to anything. Really,
Jericho was a great-
or an Arnold Schwarzenegger Christmas movie. That's also a good place to put Big Show.
See, I just don't know if it's going to last just by
That
the
was
way
the
that
giant.
the Shane's
Jingle
been
all the way.
acting. Shane's been really reluctant of.
No, in the last 2 weeks he's been really accepting, except for the dressing up like The Miz, which he will dress up like The Miz tonight. They're going to come out in matching attire. Shane's going to hit a coast to coast. There's going to be a skull crushing finale.
Do you think we're getting a
That's
stunt
cool.
double thing like
No.
Miz
No,
Dow?
no. This is Shane and Miz.
one
and
off?
honestly,
He's like, I'm not going to wear it. Like they'll do a pre thing where he's like, I'm not going to wear it.
Shane and Miz. They're going over tonight,
gonna win.
and also, they're going to break up eventually and feud, and that's going to
by
be
WrestleMania.
Wasn't Sheamus injured, and they said he was going to have to take time off for
possible.
a neck injury.
Yeah, I mean he's been baby and stuff. That's why he doesn't
Yeah.
take
And
as many
honestly-
hard
and
bumps. He
honestly,
hasn't taken like a really
Cesaro's
good
been
bump in
taking.
like a
Yeah,
year.
Cesaro's been taking.
It'll
most
be
of the
it'll be
bumps.
honestly it'll be a good time to get Sheamus and Cesaro off TV for a little bit. Maybe kind of like revisit the tag team.
They
with
just
them.
got back on TV. If you
Yeah, but
think about it.
okay, but look at
There's so many
SmackDown's tag team
teams.
division right now.
Usos are in a
Like,
stupid thing with Mandy Rose right now.
yeah, like
so
it's
stupid.
time. It's time to refresh the tag division on SmackDown a little bit. Let's get the bar out of there. Let's get the belts
Yeah,
on
stakes
Shane
and
Miz
weights
so that we-
coming, potentially.
Yes, we got heavy machinery coming up here pretty
But right
soon.
right
Boom
ahead of
shakaloo.
right ahead of WrestleMania season, you'll take like
Absolutely.
one of your flagship tag teams and
Perfect time to do it, man. Get a
If
new.
they're going to be building this tag
You got the
team
Bludgeons
division,
coming back?
they're gonna,
So is anyone
you know,
taking the bar?
No,
No,
No.
Shane and Miz.
Just got too much build.
They came
and if
to play.
anything, they could be fluffing up the numbers for him
it's
just like
literally
they did the New Day.
the best
True.
wrestler in the world.
They do have a lot of tag team runs.
Yeah, they got a lot of tag
And-
teams, and if Shane and the Miz dropped the titles to a mid card tag team, like it wouldn't be as
Heavy
surprising.
Machinery would be great person to take the
it would-
titles from.
Yeah,
You know,
because like Shane could take the pin,
Can take the pin
to put over
and
a
put it
lower
over.
team.
Where if you got Sheamus and Cesaro, and then you bring in one of these tag teams that are up and coming, and you want to, you're trying to revive
Revival
this
2.0.
tag team division.
Hold on, you're gonna have
You don't want to have your top tier tag team drop it to somebody.
you're gonna
who's-
have the winner of the best in the world tournament take the pinfall to lose the titles.
Yes.
Shane won the best in the,
and that
the
and
world
that is
tournament.
and that is how we give Otis Dozovich his inevitable world title push. Stakes and weights, baby.
Stakes and
Okay, so
weights.
no one's going with the bar. Let's move on to the Raw
Tucky.
Women's Championship match.
Tucky.
Ronda Rousey versus Sasha Banks. Is there a chance
I
in
picked
hell
Otis
that
Dozovich.
Sasha Banks is winning the belt tonight?
No.
There is.
Is there a
no
small chance?
There's
Is there
a small chance. Yes, I think she's going to push Ronda to
Ronda's last or first loss.
It's going to be she's going to push Ronda to a limit that Ronda hasn't been pushed to yet.
Yeah, no, she's going to give Ronda a great match.
And I think this is where we're going to see Ronda kind of go towards that heel turn.
Well, and this is like Ronda hasn't had to wrestle anybody like Sasha before.
Right.
Charlotte against
she fought Charlotte.
fighters and
Charlotte
strikers.
has a very easy to understand technical style.
I think
But-
this match will look good.
but
But Sasha's
Sasha's
willing
far
to.
more-
She's like a rag doll.
No,
so she'll
well, see, here's the thing. Charlotte has a very technical style with no pun intended, some flair. She has her moonsaults. She has her spots that she does. Sasha can really get in there and scrap it up a little bit. She reminds me, and I hate to draw back to this cliche, but kind of like an Eddie Guerrero type, where she can really kind of mix it up in any style. And
I was
think
going to
that's
say,
gonna
all
be-
we're really going to see tonight is a diluted, fan accessible version of what we saw last night with Baszler and Belair.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Yeah.
This is a carbon copy of last night.
Exactly.
I hope it is.
I was actually having that
match.
exact thought process when Belair made her entrance last night. I was like, this is kind of what the boss character should
I didn't
be
even think about
now.
that. Now it makes a lot of sense.
That's what the boss character
This is a
should be
carbon
now.
copy. This is like NXT does what they do.
If
and then
I'm-
WWE just in the background's like, wait, that's your guys' plan? Oh, okay.
Oh, cool. Hey, what'd you guys put down for
How many
number 3?
people watched
Right.
NXT?
Right. We over here looking at my boys' test answers.
Bianca Belair. Huh?
Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks would be a good tag team, I think.
I would love to see that. That'd be great. So much sass.
Yeah.
Oh, but their breakup would be even better.
Oh,
When they inevitably
yeah.
implode, that would be the feud of the century.
Talk about fantasy booking. Shit.
All right, so we're all
I
going
can't
with
stand
Ronda.
up right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. With
I have a
Ronda.
little theory that I'm going to throw in here. So I think before this match, Ronda and Becky run into each other, and Becky comes and watches this match. Maybe even Charlotte, because Charlotte has already announced that she's going to face the winner of this match. I think Becky's there, maybe causes a distraction, but Ronda still wins. And then I'll talk about that again later.
Okay. Interesting.
But I think Becky's there.
Interesting. I like how
So Becky's
Corey's
involved
weaving
somehow
a
in this
narrative through the
match.
show.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
All
what
right.
we've been
So those
doing.
taking
We've
notes
been-
at home, Becky is involved in this match somehow.
Not necessarily.
according to
Just
Corey.
standing, even if it's just standing
Shoot,
there.
Becky's going to win the men's rumble. I mean, that's my pick. We haven't gotten there yet, but put me down.
That's
Becky
fine.
wins the men's rumble.
Yeah, that's
We'll,
my
we'll
pick,
get
too.
there.
All right, we're moving into number 6.
You thunder stealing son of a bitch.
I'm so sorry.
Corey
Weren't you
said,
supposed to not be here today?
Yeah, if you would have been here on time, we talked about all this beforehand.
Corey's over here in the caverns of his mind, intricately weaving throughout this episode his narrative, and Ajax goes like, "Becky's winning the men's rumble."
Well, that's your show. No.
Okay, so if you want to find out how this show ends, go ahead and just rewind 20 seconds ago.
Okay.
It's one of those books where you got to like turn to page 42.
Choose your own adventure audio suplex live. Oh man!
My
All
bad.
right. Next up, we're running. I gotta leave at 2:00, so we cannot go over
Jesus.
today. All right. Up next, match 6: Daniel Bryan, AJ Styles, WWE Championship.
Styles.
Styles.
No way,
Bryan.
It's that new. It's that new
No.
fire.
The new, the old AJ.
It's gonna be a It's gonna be a.
No, he punched Vince, and that was it. Styles needs some time off. He's
Yeah,
been a
but Vince
workhorse
liked
for
it.
a
Vince got
while.
off on
Here's the
Okay.
thing. Since AJ Styles has walked into WWE and since the brand split that basically happened immediately afterwards and he got put onto SmackDown, that man has single-handedly carried that show on his back for upwards of about 2.5, almost 3 years now. Almost
Give my
3
man
years.
some time off.
Yeah,
He's taking
that
a
dude
break.
is literally he's had the title longer than anybody in that span of time. When they say that SmackDown Live is the house that AJ Styles built, they are not kidding. He literally carried that brand since they did
So
the
you're
brand
saying he's
split.
going to win?
So I'm saying he needs the time off.
Yeah,
And
easy.
honestly, I would not be shocked to see a shakeup happen and him get traded to Raw for some freshness here pretty
Oh,
soon.
without a doubt.
You know, it's
Raw,
time-
the
if-
Styles that AJ Styles.
I
the
love
house that
AJ Styles
moved in.
with every thread of my existence, and I think he is hands down the best wrestler that they have on the roster today, hands down. But that being said, you have to freshen it up a little bit. You know, we can't continue. I've seen AJ Styles feud with everybody on SmackDown for the title at this point ad nauseum. Like, you know, let's get him over to Raw. Let's get some Styles Ambrose. Let's get some, which we already obviously had, but Styles Rollins is another big feud that's never really truly been able to be
boy.
fleshed
Could
out.
you imagine that one?
Styles
Boy.
Balor, Styles versus
Yeah, we need
Drew
some Raw
McIntyre.
action. Yeah.
There's some new feuds here with Styles. Let's give him some time off after the Rumble. You know, get him out of the feud, maybe an injury angle or something like that.
We know he's going to be in Mania.
Yeah,
so,
and,
I mean,
and bring him back right in time for Mania season. Bring him to Raw. Let's see what we can get going. Let's get something cooking with Styles. But other than that, Daniel Bryan is white hot right now.
I like
He
that.
is
Cook.
pissing everybody off left and right, and I love it. And he is holding that title because it fits into my
Till Mania,
men's
at least.
Rumble
Yes.
prediction.
Go Bryan.
that I won't spoil.
Again.
Not that I.
No. Mine's different than your guys'.
Nah, no. Yeah.
All right.
I was trolling. I didn't mean to take.
You
that.
said AJ. We're all saying Bryan. You're not going to change your answer?
No.
You're sticking to your guns?
You don't want none.
I wish you the
I
best of
think
luck.
Styles going to keep it up to Mania, and
All right.
he might drop it at Mania.
To whom?
Let's talk about the best wrestler in WWE today in her match against
Shane
Asuka.
McMahon?
No, Asuka versus Becky Lynch. She's the man. It's the SmackDown Women's Championship.
Are you
I'm the man.
So I just pontificated about AJ Styles carrying SmackDown. Corey, I want to give you the soapbox. Get on your soapbox and tell us what you told me before the show about this match, because I like what you're thinking with this.
Okay, so I have Rhonda coming out to Becky's match to watch her match. Okay, Becky is more easily distracted than Rhonda was because it cost her the match. Asuka wins. Not necessarily Rhonda hitting Becky, but maybe just being ringside
distracting
enough
her
to distract her, because that's all she's focused. She's pissed at Rhonda. Rhonda cost her this title that Asuka now has.
Asuka is going to
Asuka wins, maybe locks in the Asuka lock when Becky's not paying attention. After the match, Becky's chasing after Rhonda, goes backstage.
Okay.
She lost, though.
Okay.
But Asuka wins.
I like it. I like Asuka retaining now because it keeps SmackDown interesting. It keeps that women's title scene interesting. You guys
without a doubt.
It's time to move Becky and Charlotte into the Ronda Rousey realm and really get this WrestleMania match cooking. It's time. So
that's part 2 of 3 of Corey's story.
Yeah, which is good.
Actually, it's a
I like this
story.
narrative.
It's a 10-part
Does
story.
anybody else have any thoughts on this match besides that?
Nope.
Anyone got Becky winning? She should win, but
she should,
storyline
but
wise,
she's not
but
going to.
No.
Story-wise, no.
Becky should lose tonight because there are much bigger things for Becky on
No,
the horizon.
we would. Yeah, we
Yeah.
would.
True.
Yeah.
The
Becky,
title will just make it more difficult to do what needs to
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. The right thing is happening. It's just everybody needs to sit tight,
Yeah.
happen. All right.
strap in, and enjoy the ride.
You don't need a title to be the
Brock Lesnar
Bork
taking
Lesnar.
on Finn Balor.
So, I had an interesting thought about this match on the way here today.
Yeah, I kind of did too. Let's hear yours.
There's been reports of Brock really being excited to work with Finn.
I heard he asked.
He
for Finn.
handpicked him.
He handpicked Finn to be the person that he wants to work with for the Rumble. I think Finn is a left field enough character to take this idea that the WWE needs to be shaken up a little bit and that they're going to start listening to the fans and they're going to start promoting this new. If you're going to really make a statement about that and you're going to really kind of like put it into people's minds that yes, we're listening and yes, we're going to try new and bold things, the Royal Rumble as an event is the time to do it. And I think it's going to be exemplified in 2 matches. It's going to be exemplified in this, and I think it's going to be exemplified in the Men's Rumble.
Here's the thing, though. When you're talking about listening to the fans and everything, when it was first announced that Finn Balor was going to take on Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, it almost pissed off everybody in the fan base.
Why?
It didn't piss me off.
Why did it piss everybody off?
But if you read all the comments and everything, people thought Finn Balor doesn't have what it takes to take on Brock Lesnar, that it's going to just be another Brock Lesnar going and doing 30 suplexes and Finn taking the fall.
And you see, that's the thing. That's the thing. It's now got everybody in this mindset of like, WWE still, at the end of the day, is a work. Whether or not you think you're smart and you think you know how the business works.
I'm a huge Balor fan. I think
it's a work.
Yeah.
It is always a work.
That
now
shit,
everybody's
that
like,
stuff can be decided 5 minutes before they walk out the curtain.
exactly. Yeah, we have no idea what they don't probably even have an idea of what's going to happen. What I'm saying right now is a perfect opportunity to have Finn Balor go out there, put on a hell of a match with Brock Lesnar because I know he can, and take that title.
If the Finn Balor who showed up at the UK takeover is the one that shows up tonight,
Let's do it.
that's
Oh yeah.
if that version of Finn
rigid
Balor shows
already.
up tonight,
I
Dude,
also
that was so good.
One of the guys from What Culture, I can't remember which one it was, had an interesting theory that I heard with this one as well. Put this match on early, have Finn come out as Finn, and put on
Because he said he was not going to be
He's not
the
gonna be the
demon
demon.
for the title match. He said
he's not going to be the demon. So he comes out as Finn, second match of the night after the Women's Rumble or something like that. He puts on a really good match against Brock, but comes up short.
Now, do you see the Universal
But
title being the second match on the card, though?
there was an interesting theory that I heard.
Okay,
Men's
go
Rumble closes the match. Balor comes out as Demon Balor at 30 or 29 or something like that, and then wins and goes to Mania and takes the title off of.
And they pretend Balor's a different wrestler? Like
Well,
he is
no.
on 2K?
yeah, kind of like Mick Foley did, where he came out as
3
Well,
different
no,
three cases.
he only has to be in the Rumble once, so that will give him enough time if the Universal match is like
to
the
get
second
painted?
match on to
it
go
takes
back.
hours.
No, yeah, his paint takes like
It takes
4 or 5
hours.
Well, then they had better find a quick version of it that
Dry
they
him
can do
off,
to make
sure
him
you're
look
not hot
really
so you don't
good.
sweat.
Yeah, they got to make him look real good, real quick. So
I mean, they are
Stencils?
technically
maybe they lead with it, and then women's match after that.
You really think they would open Royal Rumble up with the title shot?
Depends
No
on
way.
the, well, it's just an idea that I heard that I thought was cool.
Yeah.
That said,
It would be cool.
I'm going with Finn Balor.
Maybe do it before the Women's Royal Rumble because then you got.
That's what I just said.
You got plenty of time.
Yeah.
I don't see Finn winning. It would be cool. I think Brock's got one more match in his contract. It's WrestleMania, and he's losing to
The Rock.
Braun Strowman.
All right. Does anybody else have a? I like hearing you guys' theories on these.
No,
I don't really have the story. Is they made it 2 weeks ago? Like, there's no real backstory to this match other than it's gonna be an interesting match.
There was
fan favorite versus.
It's hard to tell what they're doing with
fans'
Brock because we
favorite
never know
hate.
when his contract is up. But it made it sound like, from what I heard, is the reason that Strowman's not in the match anymore. It's not because he's injured, because he'll probably be in the Rumble. It's because he couldn't take another loss to Brock. It wouldn't be good for his character. So they're pulling him out, and he'll get his win down the line, which I think is going to be WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm. Which is also a good way to go with it. So,
because if Brock loses the Universal title match here, what, you're going to have a rematch at Mania? That's his only contract. You're not going to. He's not going to come on TV and do another program with somebody to build to a match to WrestleMania.
you're right.
So he has to hold that belt to WrestleMania.
That's what I love about this show, man. There's so many different damn ways they can go with it.
So
And we still got like Fast Lane and Roadblock and whatever.
Elimination Chamber.
there's Chamber and Fastlane, I think, are the only
I know.
two.
I'm
between-
joking about that Roadblock one. That was trash.
I don't know. The Roadblock show from a couple years ago, the one with
Dean
Ambrose,
Ambrose
Triple
and
H was
Triple H.
good.
It was
Enzo
good.
Cass
It was just,
versus
like,
the
out of nowhere.
was it the Vaudevillains?
Yeah.
Yeah. There was some good matches on Roadblock.
I was in
All right.
Tennessee when I watched that.
Really?
Let's get to the
North
main
Carolina.
event here.
North Carolina.
Good stuff.
Potentially the main
The
event.
main event.
All
The
right.
titular title.
The 30 man
It's a testicular match.
30 man Rumble.
The title track.
The 30 man
The 30
plus 1 woman rumble.
No, the 30 man Rumble.
The Man
Because
Rumble.
Becky is the man, so she counts.
Yes.
Her shirt says the man. Like, that's going to be
Becky
his
Lynch
selling
and
point.
29 other
She's gonna come.
superstars.
Okay, so Rhonda gets away. Becky's pissed.
I can see it right now. Number 30, Michael Cole goes, and who will be the number 30th entrant in the men's Royal Rumble? Whoa. And then Becky comes out with the man on her shirt. And just,
Who is the man that's going to fill the shoes of Rod for the Truth Killings?
But yeah. So where's our truth? Did we talk
So
about where our
Becky's
truth goes?
pissed. Becky's pissed. She chases off Rhonda. R-Truth's standing there. She beats the crap out of him, takes his spot.
just like the Foley spot from
did you-
when
Sami
he
Zayn did it to fucking Ty Dillinger last year.
What did you say earlier? Our truth with his little confused.
Yeah, so my other pitch was R-Truth shows up to the women's Rumble at number 30 with Carmella, and he enters the ring, and they're like, wait a minute. And he gets tossed out, so that counts as his 30th entrant. Like, a woman tosses him over the top rope. They just say, all right, I guess that counts. I guess the men's Rumble 30th spot is now open. The crowd's going to go nuts. Who's the 30th entrant?
Who's the 30th man?
Who's the 30th? Who's the man taking that slot? And I guarantee they
Who
were.
is the man
I
that's
guarantee
taking that spot?
They do that call because it's so stupid. And Vince is like, you got to say the man.
You have to say
You have to say the man.
Okay, so
Who's the man that will take?
I could see him in
the 30th
Michael's,
spot?
Michael's ear right now. Say the man.
Michael, what I need you to say right now is
Sell some t-shirts tonight.
all right, now push the app. All right,
Do the $9.99 plug.
do the
No, they can't plug it anymore. They're raising the price.
really.
Yeah, there's
Oh, they're revamping. They're going to redo the whole entire network. I heard.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we got to get
Interface and
we got to
We got
get
a new
involved
company
in
taking
which
over.
ICW
The
on there
old,
somehow.
the old superstars are on there now. That's
That's cool.
Okay.
Cool. That's cool.
We got to go through this Rumble here. All right, so I already kind of gave you my pitch. Ronda gets
on.
entered at number 30.
Are we gonna give? Let's give Dusty
Becky,
30
not
seconds. Dusty,
what?
because he could read,
Becky,
so
yeah,
we got to
Becky.
you
up
got
his
30 seconds to read all of the announced men for the men's Royal Rumble.
We know
you got the list.
We know with 30
Yeah.
seconds you can handle a
it's
lot of
only
men.
20
so let's
names.
go.
Only- yeah.
I know you can handle a lot of men in 30 seconds. As I just said, his joke louder. That's kind of my whole thing.
All right, go.
John Cena, Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, Samoa Joe, Drew McIntyre, Kofi Kingston, Big E, Xavier Woods, Apollo Crews, Baron Corbin, Elias, Jinder Mahal, Jeff Hardy, Bobby Lashley, Andrade, Rey Mysterio, Mustafa Ali, Randy Orton, and R-Truth at the 30th spot.
John Cena's not in the Rumble.
16 to spare.
Now, if he said Andrade, Cien, Almas, it would have taken the rest of the 16 seconds.
Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and ding you.
So,
Which speaking of Andrade,
Cena's
can I
not in
just
it.
No.
can I just put this in here that him and Rey Mysterio's matches are
Amazing.
amazing.
Fantastic.
Incredible.
I think it's genius giving them.
I love LIJ.
They're just kind of letting them run with it, let
Yeah.
them do what they want. You know,
When he hit the
but-
Tranquilo with Zelina and John Cena in the ring.
Bruh.
John Cena's like,
the Canadian destroyer that was.
Oh,
Well,
yo,
which
the
is-
Mexican destroyer.
It's
That's
happened twice.
Which is great because Japanese John Cena, Takahashi, has been dealing with Tranquilo and LIJ for years. Now, regular John Cena's turn to deal with this nonsense.
The
What
last
the hell?
the 2 out of 3 falls match, the way that they just stood on the top rope for that power bomb and didn't even
That was nuts.
didn't even like wobble, like
No.
they were just standing there. And I was
Those
just like,
guys know
like-
what they're doing.
It is insane.
That's why I love the fact that it has been going on, and that and I'm actually low key sad that they've decided to use a 2 out of 3 falls match to plug the Rumble,
right. Which Pizza,
Yeah.
you know,
because I would have
our old friend
loved to
Pizza
actually
here.
let that.
He said that he would have saved that for maybe a Mania 2 out of 3 match and just let it go.
Just letting it happen.
But this is doing a really good job of keeping Almas busy
There's a chance Almas could win the Rumble.
and on TV
Yes.
and in a high profile. Rey Mysterio is over. Rey Mysterio is a legend.
That actually goes into my pick thing.
And this is
for
Almas.
another
This is really good for Almas right now because he's not going to be in the world title picture tomorrow.
No, but he can be tonight. And I'm going to use that as a segue.
Well, listen, like 3 months ago, I said Almas was my pick to win the Rumble.
And is
3
he
months
still?
ago. No,
Did
it's
you?
not.
No,
I did.
no, but
We all did our picks. I was like, all right, pick your winner today. I don't remember who.
All
I
right,
don't
so
remember who you guys
the
picked.
consensus feeling
Almas.
in the internet wrestling community is that Seth Rollins is the penciled-in winner.
Correct.
For
I've seen
the
so
Royal
many
Rumble.
Seth Rollins.
But as I was positing earlier, I feel like Rumbles like this, where it's like, well, Roman's gone, and a lot of our top tier guys are gone. Nobody knows what's happening with Brock. Strowman's kind of in limbo right now, and Balor maybe. You know, you have all these like kind of like picks. This is the perfect Rumble to take a guy and just like rocket strap him and just go to the moon with it.
Especially if you did it with Nakamura last year, how could Almas not be it this year?
because I think there's another name for that, but I'm going to throw it to Corey. I know Corey's got his.
Okay, I got
if
something to say. So I got Becky Lynch winning. Becky Lynch comes in number 30, eliminates the last person, wins the belt.
I like Almas.
She challenges Ronda for the title as well. So it says you get a world title match. It doesn't say who's. She's going up for the women's title. That creates your triple threat: Charlotte, Ronda, Becky. Main event of WrestleMania. Becky wins at WrestleMania. And that's my pick. The other thing, so with Seth Rollins, another thing, that a rumor that's going around is that Roman Reigns might be there at the Rumble. Not in a wrestling capacity.
But just to kinda like-
If Seth wins, he's celebrating. Roman goes in there, celebrates with him. The crowd is like pop, like, okay, good to see Roman's healthy or he's doing all right, you know.
I mean, he's clearly shooting movies with The Rock.
He's shooting movies with The Rock, so, you know, he's
And I like that idea.
and I think that would be
That feels good.
If Seth wins, I think that would be a good final image for the pay-per-view. Whatever.
That feels good.
I think a better one would be Becky Lynch being the first woman to ever
The
win
Rock,
a men's
or
Rumble.
Roman can be the Rock.
Hopefully
when
she can point at the
it was the
WrestleMania
Rock
sign
with
better than
Roman
Ronda.
pointing at the sign.
She doesn't
So
need to
Roman
point.
can be like,
she's going to point at
this,
Ronda.
and
She's
Seth.
not going to point at the sign. Becky's going to point at Ronda.
Ronda. Oh my God! Stop it. She's going to point at the sign, and then she's going to
No.
point right to Ronda.
I'm
not gonna point.
I'm going to point at the WWE logo that pops up in the corner.
I'm going to point. I'm going to point to the
point at-
entrance ramp and look for Tommaso Ciampa, and you know.
Okay.
So that being said, so you think
I'm
Ronda's
saying Becky
Becky's
wins.
going to win, which is an amazing idea. I love this idea. I think it's cool. It's not my idea, but I think it's cool.
Too far fetched though. In a climate in which that we know WWE is not comfortable, at least publicly,
means they would have
putting
to go-
women against men and like the no contact and stuff. You
They
really
would
think
have to go-
she's going to be
but
able
they-
to like
She would
go
be
in
the
there and
fourth
clean
woman
house?
to be in a
Yeah,
Rumble.
that's true. I mean, there would be there's a precedent.
China,
Beth Phoenix,
Beth
Karma.
Phoenix.
Karma.
Jackie used to wrestle
But
men.
this is over 15 years ago.
Karma was in the Rumble as recently
2000
as
2010,
2010,
maybe?
I think it was.
That's still 9 years
Yeah.
ago. But
I think I got back into it in 2011. I think I missed that.
So cool idea. I like it. It's cool. Not my
I'm
personal
not saying
idea.
it's super plausible, but I think that would be a really awesome way to do it.
Ajax and I are in on this rocket strap idea. Dusty, where are you at on this?
I'm kind of all over on this because I've actually thought about both scenarios where you give somebody who hasn't had a chance. This is the opportunity to give them a push in this new era that Vince is trying to take the WWE, where you got people out there like the Apollo Cruzes, Andrada and all them, and and be able to push them. Like, this is your opportunity.
Exactly. This is a really good opportunity to really kind of reboot.
Right. And then, Corey's, his theory over here. Cool. I've actually talked to Corey about this before I even was going to be on the show today, that we kind of had that idea that Becky could win the men's Rumble. But then, of all the things that you're hearing, you try not to listen to the dirt sheets, so to speak, and kind of come up with your own idea. But I really like the idea that they were saying so there's two theories that I heard that really made sense. One, you got Finn Balor, who does win tonight. He pulls it off and wins tonight. Then The Undertaker, who's not in a WrestleMania role, shows up at the Rumble, wins the Rumble, and now you got the Dead Man versus the Demon at WrestleMania.
Ooh.
Not into it.
I don't think Taker's wrestling.
Yeah. See, but
not for the world title.
Not right.
Not at all.
Not for title, especially after when he's two losses at Mania, and those were against Lesnar and Reigns.
Well, let's not forget his little soiree against John Cena at this last WrestleMania.
3-minute match with John Cena last year.
Yeah,
you're right. But all those other guys were the plan. I don't think Finn is the plan to make that happen.
The other one that I heard, that
we might be entering an era where there isn't a
plan.
The plan.
You look at the WWE title right now. It's rarely on Raw. It's rarely defended except for
it's never on Raw. It's on SmackDown.
Yeah, it's SmackDown.
Or the Universal title. Shut up. They were talking about The Rock.
No,
that's back when Roman was still
no. The Rock and Lesnar at WrestleMania. The Rock shows up. He's right over, and you fly him over from Hawaii.
So we can transfer the title to one dude who never shows up on TV
to a guy
another
who
dude.
will never.
So it doesn't
show up more than Rock.
It doesn't.
So whoever ends up beating The Rock for it then is the most over person on the planet because they have officially brought this title back to the planet.
Well, then you have Brock lose.
Congratulations, you brought the Universal title back to Earth.
Jesus.
But realistically speaking, I think Seth Rollins has it tonight.
All right. I don't see them not having a winner of the men's Rumble. That's the only.
What about?
That's the only hole I have in the plan of the Ronda Rousey.
I look at it.
Braun Strowman is an option. Bray Wyatt could potentially be coming back.
I think Seth Rollins is the most logical choice.
Most logical. I'm looking at it now also from
a
socio-political standpoint. Not to get on any political soapboxes or anything, but if you look at the trend over the past couple of years, last year was Team Japan. There were no Asian guys marketable. Really, like they were marketable, but they weren't in a point. They were reaching out. Hold on, because I know you like to chime in a little bit. So, like, give me a second. Dusty had his, Corey had his. This is mine right now. I'm gonna, as the only brown guy in the room, I'm gonna tell you about things about people of color for a second. All right.
Wait till he gets my pick for the Rumble.
Jinder Mahal. That was during a time in which they were trying to get an Indian market. That was purely the reason why, and we all knew that.
Yeah.
Last year, 2 Japanese people that were only on the roster less than a year won it. That was because they were reaching out for another market. You don't have a Latino guy that's a face of the company right now that isn't Rey Mysterio, and he's not really needed in that regard, and you got to put a rocket on the back of Andrade.
Okay.
That's why
I like it. And actually, and that plays into my theory with Fox now getting SmackDown. Fox being on basic television is going to be seen by more people in more different ethnicities and stuff like that than I think it would be on cable.
I think
so. I have something to add to that. So apparently, Bryan was growing his hair out to have a mask versus hair match in Mexico if he was to leave WWE.
Really?
That was his plan. So that's why he grew it out. So he really wants a mask versus hair match. What if Almas wins with his mask on?
It doesn't make sense.
And then he does the mask thing until...
Not like losing.
Yeah, but it's not like losing.
I guess
that's different. That's different in actual lucha culture.
If he had been masked the entire time, maybe.
Yeah. So then he can have that match with Mysterio. That's the only other SmackDown masked wrestler they have.
He's like, he comes out right now. Like, so the mask in that regard is a token. It is a
it's much deeper than
much deeper than just a dude putting it on.
Yeah.
Because Andrade straight up comes out with it on his hands and then discards it.
Well, before he got signed by WWE, he never had his mask off.
Right.
Right.
But now we know who he is.
Vince
and
saw how handsome he was, and he's like, oh, man, I have to take that mask off.
That boy's square.
Dude, he's like marble.
Well, you're gonna have
Marble.
to take that mask off.
Somebody said Drew McIntyre.
And I
Drew
love
McIntyre is one of the favorites to win.
I love your idea
Johnny.
of taking somebody like an Andrade Cien Almas, somebody who is like on that cusp of being great, and just really saying like, you know what, let's do it. Let's make you great. Let's put you in that WrestleMania main event. But I'm going to take it with a different superstar. I'm going to go a little bit further down the depth chart, completely do a different brand. I think Velveteen Dream
comes up at the same time.
You would be the
all
first-
up and then an NXT
the first
call.
debut win.
It
The
would
first day
literally
in.
shake up the entire world.
But what about-
if Velveteen Dream were to come in and win this Rumble from any position? How awesome would it be to see him enter a program, face Velveteen Dream versus Daniel Bryan, who is now on a tear as a heel for the WWE Championship?
He would be a SmackDown brand superstar.
It would be
anyway.
amazing. And it would be the perfect feud to put Dream over as just like, this is the future of this business. This is the future of this company.
The only reason I
love
don't see that happening is because I think they got different plans with him in NXT after the WWE exclusive, where they had the brawl backstage.
Last night.
Those exclusives aren't.
They're barely canon.
So let's talk about that real quick. After NXT TakeOver last night,
Dream is everything that needs to be on the main roster right now.
Dream came out.
If they want the change that they're trying to get,
let's talk about this exclusive video real quick. All right,
Apparently
so
me and
Ciampa
Corey
and
didn't see
Gargano were celebrating at the end of NXT TakeOver last night
With their titles.
with their titles. Velveteen Dream came up to confront them, and he's talking about how he wants those belts. Then we had Adam Cole come out and Ricochet, and then we had Aleister Black stumble down from the ring. We had a 3-on-3 battle at the top of the ramp, and then they went back in the gorilla position, and they were fighting all in the back gorilla position. Officials are pulling them apart. Triple H has to come in and step in and separate them.
Cool it.
And that's there. But they're setting up a 6-man tag storyline, a 3-on-3.
and this is how we get the first ever
Tag
NXT
team
Elimination
champions.
Chamber.
Ooh.
Put both the belts on the line in a 6-man Elimination Chamber. with
Final
all,
two get the belts or something.
Yeah. Put Dream in there, put Gargano, put Black, put Ciampa, put
Ooh, that'd be so
Cole.
good.
I just don't see
And-
how this has to turn into a story. The way that,
Yeah,
at least the way
Why
you said,
do it?
like, no, it's
Yeah,
not
why-
plausible right now.
Why do it? Why?
I'm going to tell you right now, though, Velveteen Dream, because how many open spots are in the men's Rumble?
10.
10. Velveteen Dream is going to be one of those.
It's going to be
10
11
spots.
when R-Truth gets taken
Who
out. Becky
do we
Lynch
put
takes it.
down real quick before we went in there? Who do we say that the 10 we thought were going to be?
I have more than 10 here. These are just some options. We got Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder might fill out the card. Pete Dunne was an option.
I like Pete Dunne.
Velveteen Dream. EC3 has been backstage on Raw and SmackDown.
Heavy Machinery.
Ciampa, Heavy Machinery. Johnny Gargano, Cassius Ono, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Bray Wyatt. These are all people that could potentially. I think Bray Wyatt for sure. And actually on this list, I think Bray Wyatt's probably the only for sure. Hawkins and Ryder, probably.
Mark my words, Velveteen Dream will be in the Rumble.
Does
tonight.
Kenny Omega show up?
No.
Nope.
No.
Christian apparently has been seen. I know you said there's no way, but he could be an old nostalgia pop. He hasn't been in a Rumble in a couple of years.
Maybe.
They usually try to do one or two.
As long as
Last year it was the Hurricane. I think Christian would be fun.
I'll accept it if he comes out to
With the blue
his-
dot over his face.
No. To the best theme he ever had. To the,
Christian. And it rains down gold.
At last, you're on your own.
I don't know. They're pushing. Their new show just
guys
came
are
out with a
winning.
new season. I think it would be a good push, and they could actually do an episode about him going out and doing the Rumble.
Yeah, that'd be kind of fun.
We got a question. Do we think any from our live
Okay.
feed? Any predictions on any legends besides Christian?
Christian would be a good one. Hogan.
Hogan,
I
they've
know
been
they've been
talking.
trying to
it's
get him back in the
possible
fold.
He'll break a hip,
I know.
getting eliminated.
I
But
know.
I don't, Doug. I don't see Lars Sullivan. I think there's too much.
I think they're going to hold off.
There was
Yeah.
a interesting thing I read about his.
He made up his
per-
anxiety attack to
Yeah, it's-
avoid getting a negative reaction to his drug testing.
Yeah. Well, not only that,
He
but
failed a drug test?
He was penciled in for a program with John Cena to get him onto the main roster. So that might still be on the back burner. I'm
If
not
he
entirely sure.
got popped for a drug violation, I don't see them pushing him.
He is from Colorado.
I don't think that's the drug that he got popped for. Have you seen how big that guy
Have you
is?
seen how big he is?
I don't think he's smoking pot.
Yeah, he's a smart dude, though.
They, you know what? They signed Matt Riddle. I don't think they have a pot problem
There
as
was
much as
somebody-
they used to.
That
I
boy
think,
got a mushroom tat on
I
his
know.
ribs.
I showed that. Me and Angela were watching last night. I'm like, dude, he's got a. I'm like, this guy's a big stoner, and I'm like, he's got a mushroom tattoo on his
It
side.
might take over the butt.
Jesus Christ. Somebody said. So I said. I heard somebody on What Culture said Matt Riddle should win the Rumble.
Why?
Settle down.
Calm down.
I mean, he's good. He's good.
He's cool.
He's not Rumble winning on your.
He's good. He can win it next year.
Matt Riddle's
He's been
cool.
pro wrestling for 3 years. Straight to.
Matt Riddle is cool. I
4
don't
years.
see this whole like, oh my god, Matt Riddle's the greatest thing that NXT has ever signed in the history of professional wrestling.
We didn't talk about Aleister Black coming up.
Aleister Black could be a really good entrant.
It
to
would
the
be
Rumble.
a good.
Oh my
He
god,
lost his rematch for the title.
Yeah.
he could be a good main
I like
roster.
Aleister Black.
I mean, no man's ever truly good.
No man is ever truly evil. All right, so that has been Audio Suplex Live Royal Rumble 2019 predictions.
Tonight, Beer
Stube.
Stube. 5 o'clock pre-show, 7 o'clock main show. On the big
5333
screen.
Monroe Street.
On the big screen, we got the big, huge 10-foot screen in the front of the screen, or in front of the stage.
10-foot HD screen.
We're going to have it on a couple of the other TVs around the bar, so you don't have to have a front row seat to be able to watch this show.
It's going to be a phenomenal time.
The audio will be playing in the bar, so you'll be able to hear all the action that's going on.
Yes, sir.
We're giving away prizes. We're going to have
raffles.
It's going to be sweet. There's $2 Coors Light can, 16-ounce beers for $2.
Full
starting
kitchen.
at 7 o'clock. The kitchen is open.
Wings on special, I believe.
Only till 6.
Only till 6. So if you get there for the pre-show, you can order yourself 40 wings that last you the entire night.
Yeah,
That is possible.
yeah, 50-cent wings.
So, yeah.
But yeah, come out. It's going to be a
$20.
good time.
Bring your plus ones.
Bring your plus ones, bring your plus twos. Tell your wrestling friends, hey, no one wants to watch the Rumble alone. This is like the one pay-per-view, I think. This is WrestleMania.
All
Cure
ages
your
event.
seasonal depression. Come out and
For
hang out with
sure.
some fellow wrestling nerds. Have a few brews.
I hope there's a lot of really good surprises tonight.
God, I am so excited, guys.
We got guys commenting in our comment section here. You guys, we hope you guys are all there tonight too.
Yeah, if you guys are listening, come out, tell
I know
your
some
friends.
of the Northwest Ohio Wrestling guys are going to be there tonight.
All ages. We will be there.
I'm there.
BT Jackson is going to be there. You
I
can
don't-
see these guns
I
in
don't
person.
show
Flex for
up
'em.
anywhere.
Flex for 'em.
Shit.
Jeez.
Look at
I don't
that.
show up to shit. So
This man
very
is-
rare appearance. I'll be doing autographs.
This man is concerned with two things normally, but on this day, on Royal Rumble Day, I tell you this right now, this man is concerned about three things. Typically, the two things are his freaks and his peaks.
Facts.
But on Royal Rumble Day, this man wants to see you guys at the Beer Stube this evening for the Royal Rumble Audio Suplex Live. Hosting it. Be there, be square, your choice.
My
Oh, what a
advocate.
promo.
Sorry. More.
And if you ain't there,
rises to the top.
if you ain't there, we got 2 words for you.
Maybe next time.
Next year.
We also don't know how to count. Maybe next time.
All right, I think that does it, right, guys?
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. We'll be back in like 2 weeks. I think we got a special show that we're going to do about Powerbomb, a good friend of ours.
Yes.
There's a movie coming out. We're doing a premiere here at the Maumee Theater in Ohio. I believe it's on March 1st.
Hit it.
We're going to have him on the show hopefully in the next couple weeks.
Yeah, we got to get a solid date for that because we got to
We'll
let
lock
you guys
it
know.
in.
Like we're gonna promo
Correct.
the hell out of that one.
So if you don't know anything about Powerbomb, it's a cool indie wrestling movie that's coming out. Matt Cross. You may know him from Lucha Underground as Son of Havoc. He also has a promotion he works for here in Ohio.
Or you may
Old Time
know him
Wrestling.
from the Backyard Wrestling video games.
Yep.
Correct.
also on those.
So he's one of the stars.
PS2 games.
Our
Yes,
buddy
sir.
Wes and his son Cash are both also in the film.
Yes, sir.
I haven't seen it yet. I'm super excited to see it. Check it out online. I'm sure there's some videos or stuff you can watch. I know there's a Facebook page for it.
We'll post a link to everything as we start working out some of the promotional stuff for what we're doing with this coming up soon. But yeah,
Yeah, it'll be good.
Yes.
Hopefully we'll see you guys tonight. Thank you for listening. I'm Heel Corey. We got Travis, BT Jackson, Dusty Dangerously. We'll see you guys next time.
Joe.
Remember,
Joe.
Beer Stew
yeah.
tonight.
Joe.
Joe.
Joe's gonna kill you.
Hey, this is Joe, producer of Audio Suplex Live. We'd like to give a shout out to the band Wax for intro and outro music. Make sure you check them out at the link below.
You've been listening to the Nerd Complex Podcast Network.